Welcome to the Live Fit podcast with your host, Glenn Johnson. Today you will learn techniques for permanent weight loss and improved overall health.
Yes, it is time once again for the Live Fit podcast. I am your host, Glenn Johnson. Welcome to the show. Do you have any enemies? Who's your worst enemy? Why? What do they do? As bad as that person might be, I'm willing to bet that you have a worse enemy, yourself. Whether you know it or not, most people's worst enemy is themselves. Today, I'm going to discuss that little devil inside you that causes you to drop out or defeat yourself before you can succeed. Before I get on with my show about sabotage, I'd like to announce my new website. Yay! It's finally here and ready for public use. As you may know, I have spent most of the summer developing a new site for livefitlean.com. As it was all ready, I clicked a little button to make it go live, and what do you think happened? It crashed. It took 4 days for my hosting company to get the site back up, except it did not have any accurate links or images. All the images were gone, so I had to replace all those images, and all of the links were wrong, so I had to find them all, internal and external, and redirect those. It's beautiful. I want you all to go to livefitlean.com and take a look and let me know what you think. Well, now, let's talk about that little devil inside of you that I call self-sabotage. Who is your worst enemy? Is it your boss, a classmate, a teammate, a coworker? Are you the victim of sabotage? Chances are your worst enemy is you. Yeah, I'm really sorry to say that. Is there a group of beastly boys inside your head wrecking your life and making you do things that are bad for you, that are incongruous to a mature adult? Sometimes it seems like it, I know. In this episode, I'm going to discuss that insidious beast sabotage and how you can kick it to the curb. Now, first off, I want to ask, does this happen to you? Do things frequently happen that prevent you from being successful? Do you fail in your weight loss efforts? Do you find it impossible to stick to an exercise routine? Are you having trouble becoming a better you? Perhaps you have negative thoughts dancing through your head, demoting you and discouraging you from succeeding. Do these thoughts say, who cares? I'll never be able to do it anyway, so why bother? Or how about the infamous, I can't? Why does this happen? Are these saboteurs out of your control, or do you just think they are? Where's this sabotage coming from? There are two forms of sabotage, internal and external. Let's talk about self-sabotage first. Self-sabotage is any form of action or failure of action that ends up interfering with your goal. It could be in the form of negative self-talk, putting yourself in a bad situation, or simply the lack of preparation. Self-sabotage is more common than you might think. It is usually the result of deep-seated thoughts and feelings that go way back to childhood. So bring out your Freud manual. Well, why do we have this? Why do we have self-sabotage? Why wouldn't we want to be the best person we can be? Why wouldn't we want to exceed and excel? Well, protection mostly. See, self-sabotage is a way of controlling your disappointment. It's a way of preserving your ego. It helps you stay within your comfort zone because if you reach and fail, that might be more troubling than if you don't try to reach at all. Because then you know you're no good. You've proven yourself a failure if you try something and fail, right? I'm not saying I agree with that, but that is our weak ego's mentality, if you will. Some of the time, the pressure of these expectations is too much for a person, and creating an obstacle allows them to save face. By having a reasonable excuse, your ego is saved when you don't complete your goals. Believe it or not, I've actually fantasized about getting a flat tire on my bike in the middle of a particularly hard part of a bike race. I didn't think I could stay with them. It was really, really too hard. And if I could just get a flat tire, I could quit and I could rest and it wouldn't be my fault. Wouldn't you know it? That never happens when I want it to. Fortunately, actually, but at the time I'm kind of disgruntled about it. Common thought patterns with self-saboteurs are the all or nothing thinking. They put things in either or, black and white situations. They make statements that are all-encompassing, such as, I can't do it, I've never done it before, I've already blown my diet, I might as well eat the whole carton of ice cream, I couldn't make it to the gym today, so I might as well not work out at all, or it's Thursday, I'll wait till Monday to start my new diet. I'm sure you can think of plenty of examples from your own life when you've allowed something to derail you from your goals. The most important thing to realize is that life is not black and white. Very rarely is something an either or. You can eat some cake, a little cake, without it blowing your diet. You can miss a workout without it blowing your fitness goals. Forget the worst case scenarios. Focus on reality. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get back to your good habits as soon as you can. Make the best of it. If you eat a piece of cake and it was not on your schedule of some junk to eat, you might be disappointed. You might not be happy with yourself at all. You might be furious with yourself. But hey, it's done. Don't have more. Make the best of the situation. Get your body moving. Drink a big glass of water. Go out for a long, brisk walk until you burn off those 400 calories that you just ate. Don't give up. Don't throw up your arms. Don't quit. Don't say, I might as well eat another piece of cake. I've already blown it. That is simply not the case. That is fallacious thinking, and it's not going to get you anywhere productive, anywhere that you want to go, that is. Recover as quickly as you can. That statement alone is quite literally going to mean the difference between your success and your failure. Recover as quickly as you can. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get going. But how? First off, you know there are going to be setbacks and obstacles. The best thing you can do is anticipate what these might be and have a contingency plan in place. For example, if you regularly go to the gym, keep a spare bag of workout clothes in the trunk of your car. Don't touch it unless you need to. This way, on the day that you go to the gym and you forgot your workout clothes, you have some spare clothes right there with you and your gym efforts are not failed. Maybe your failure to bring those clothes in the first place was self-sabotage. You, quote-unquote, forgot to bring them. Well, maybe it's an honest mistake. Maybe there's a little devil sitting on your shoulder that redirected your thoughts right at a pivotal time when you went to grab your bag. You turned the other way and didn't see it. Pay attention to your self-talk script. Do you speak to yourself the way you would speak to a dear friend? Do you speak to yourself the way you would like that friend to speak to you? If the answer is no, then this is a great place to start. Follow the golden rule. Speak to you the way you want to be spoken to. We all have internal scripts. We are probably not aware of the things that we say to ourselves because we've been doing it for so long. We probably think we're numb to it and we say mean things as a way of motivating ourselves. We're demeaning ourselves and trying to fire ourselves up to not eat that cake, to go out for that run. But does it have the effect you really want? Maybe it does in the short run, but the thing is, this negative talk, this demeaning talk is not helping you. It is lowering you down and making yourself think that you're no good, that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy. I mean, if you can't believe yourself, who can you believe? So here's what I want you to do. For the rest of today, I want you to make note of all the negative things that you say to yourself. Be aware of what you say, and then I want you to rephrase it. Pretend you're speaking to a dear friend, and if your friend said a statement such as, "I'm too fat, nobody likes me," what would you say to her or him? Now, that's what I want you to do for yourself, because you are a dear friend of yourself. You're your best friend. If you're not, why not? You can be. Remember the devil on the shoulder? There's a saint and a devil on a person's shoulder. Homer Simpson had this in one of his episodes, and the devil is, of course, making him do things that he shouldn't do, eat donuts, drink beer, all that stuff, where the saint is saying, no, you must be good boy. Self-sabotage can be insidious, sneaky, and devastating. It will kick you where it counts, or it might simply tap you on the shoulder and whisper what sounds like common sense to you. It may get you to believe that you don't want to work out, that everything is just fine. You're in good enough shape. You're not that bad off. You don't really need to go to the gym. It might sound reasonable. You might even think it's that saint talking to you. But the saint wants what's best for you. The devil doesn't. Self-sabotage can ruin your life. Be wary of that little demon and recognize that he does not have your best interest at heart. He wants you to fail so he can be more powerful. Situations can also be saboteurs. An example of this is when a person who is trying to quit smoking might want to hang out with friends, and he goes to a bar and has a beer or two. And then his friends all go out for a cigarette. And now he's loosened up a little bit from the beer, and he's hanging out with his friends. He wants to keep talking with them, so he's standing there with them. And then, next thing you know, he's smoking a cigarette. Now, what's the best approach from this point on? Maybe he has another cigarette or two or three that night. What about when he wakes up in the morning? Is he a smoker or not? Well, that is where his decision next is going to make or break his efforts to quit smoking. If he lights up another cigarette in the morning, bam, he's a smoker again. If he doesn't, he can just chalk it up to a setback. He had a few cigarettes at night. It's just like having that cake. Do the best you can from where you are right now. You wake up in the morning, it's a new day. Start new. You're not a smoker. Just because you had a couple of cigarettes last night doesn't make you a smoker. The best thing is to steer clear of those situations, right? If you want to quit smoking, don't hang out with people that smoke. I know that's not always realistic, whatever the situation might be. If cake's your Achilles heel, don't go to birthday parties. But if you have to, you have to. Best thing I can offer as a suggestion there is don't go hungry. Don't show up to that party hungry because there's usually not good food. Eat before you get there. Make sure you're full. Drink a lot of water. Keep that belly full. Do everything you can to avoid the cake. Avoid those situations that might take advantage of your weakness. Another thing I hear a lot from clients is they say, well, I was munching on cookies or chips while I was preparing dinner. And I said, really? Why'd you have those in the house? Oh, well, I don't get them for me, but I get them for the kids. Well, you know what? They don't need that stuff either. You're trying to change your eating habits away from that junk. You're trying to keep that junk out of your life. Why would you bring it into the house? Why would you feed your kids that junk? Look, if it's not good for you, it's not good for your kids. Keep it out of the house. It's best for you. It's best for them. Now, external saboteurs. There's a lot of things that you can do to sabotage yourself, but what about outside sources? They really are outside of your control, or are they? Do others put you in sabotaging situations? Well, that situation where you're visiting with a friend is one. Maybe they put some pressure on you to come hang out with them. But what about if somebody comes and visits you and they bring you treats? Let's say your mother-in-law comes, and every time she comes into town, she brings you some cookies, fresh baked cookies that she made herself that you really, really love. Maybe she's coming every other week, and once in a while wouldn't be a big deal, but now you have a couple dozen cookies sitting on your counter every 2 weeks, every month, and it's really derailing you from your success of weight loss and improved eating. Well, she might not be doing it on purpose. She's probably just showing her love in the way that she's comfortable with. So you could talk with her and say, please don't bring these anymore. And if she's an open-minded person, that'll probably be fine and she'll accept that. If you can always tell her, hey, if you want to bring me a gift, I like flowers. Something that's not harmful to your goal. But at the same time, keep in mind that your friends and family might not actually want you to achieve your goal. Let's say you have a group of friends and everybody's a little bit overweight and a little bit out of shape, and you suddenly get fired up to get your fitness in order. Well, they see this and it's making them feel bad about themselves. And they might subtly drop little hints or make little statements or offer you certain treats that they know you love so they can keep you in the fold. Have you ever heard the crabs in a bucket mentality? It's a true thing. If you have a bucket full of crabs or a basket, full, halfway full, if the crabs can reach up and touch the rim, one of them might do that and try to climb out. But you know what? The other crabs in the bucket are going to pull them back in. The group of crabs does not want one to leave. It's a horrible thing when you think about it. I mean, it's great if you're trying to catch the crabs and keep them, but if you're that crab that wants to escape, you keep getting pulled in. They don't want you to escape. And the same thing can happen with your friends and your family. They might want to keep you where you are. Perhaps your husband doesn't really want you to become fit and hot. Maybe he's not comfortable with the attention you'll get from other men. Maybe your friends don't want to feel like losers when they see you change your behaviors and become fit and hot and trim. It sounds like really negative thinking on my side, but it is true. I've heard this more times than I can count. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. And it's usually pretty subtle. They're not going to tell you we don't want you to leave us, but it could happen. So break free of the crabs that are holding you back. If you want to escape, set the details necessary in motion and don't let the other crabs stop you. It'll be difficult. It may get harsh. But if you are worth it, and I'm sure you are, then break free. Do what you need to do and do it. Take charge of your brain and your life and do the things you want to do, the things you need to do. You only live once. You might as well make it a good one. Well, that's it for the show. Thanks for listening. Please keep those reviews coming in iTunes and Stitcher Radio. You can subscribe, read the show notes, articles, and all about my weight loss programs at livefitlean.com. Once again, thanks for listening, and always remember to live fit.